Hey guys, it's Maria Park and it's Approach the Nerd, and we are here to talk about Batwoman Season 2, Episode 9, entitled Rule Number 1. I got my water of truth today, guys. We have some stuff to talk about. I pushed the stream because we had some construction workers come out, but and I was going to do it at 11. And here it is after 3, and I'm still hearing them. So I feel like they're just never going home. So I just don't bother you, doesn't bother me. That's basically where we're at right now because they're not stopping whatever they're doing. So the episode was wild. We finally got the black mask that I feel we deserved. Roman in this is nuts, and I like it. He literally tried to saw Ryan in half. I mean, I'm used to his brutality in the comics. In the Birds of Prey movie, Victor was the one he sent to always torture people and do all of the really bad stuff too. But in Batwoman, he doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. So I am extremely excited about this particular take of Black Mask. On a Kane note, it seems to me from what we've seen in this episode that she very much had a plastic surgery on her face. Like the whole markings and stuff that we saw when we first realized she was alive, like it looked like her face was wrapped. I believe Black Mask either disfigured her. So either it happened in the crash, he did it on purpose, for his nefarious plans, or, she's not had plastic surgery yet and she's just really cut up. But I think she's probably already healing from the plastic surgery. And the way that he even came in and said, your family pretty much has written you off as dead, but we're going to introduce you back to the land of the living. Well, obviously, Kane can't come back looking the same. So I really think that, remember when I said when they were using Enigma on Ocean and Alice, that, I thought the way they were going to bring Kane is that her memory was going to be warped. I think that still is possible, but it's not going to be Sophia that does it. It's going to be Black Mask. He's going to basically make another Alice. And that actually is really exciting. So yeah, I'm very interested in how this plays out. But yeah, Black Mask is probably one of my favorite things about this episode because he's nuts and he wants revenge for his daughter. And I mean, it's on. We also got to meet Sophie's sister, Jordan, which I didn't realize Sophie had a sister. But to be fair, they really didn't tell us anything about her backstory other than the fact that she was all over Kate and her mom was apparently a homophobe. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting. I'm hoping she's a regular character, for this season. I don't want her to just be in this is our episode for Jordan and now she's gone. Like, I wonder what brought her to Gotham, because as far as I know, Sophie's family does not live in Gotham. And mother comes to visit her. So you would think that her younger sister, wouldn't live in Gotham either. I don't know. It's interesting because I kind of feel like they just kind of introduced this character to have somebody else that Sophie could be tied to the show to, if that makes sense. Because right now something's happening that's bothering me greatly. And I know you guys are probably going to agree with this. And I've been saying this pretty much since they cast Ryan. I said I did not want her to be with Sophie. So there's a scene where Sophie is in the bar with her sister Jordan, and her sister's like, I see the vibes between you. I can be your wing woman. And I'm like, oh no. No, as queer as I am, as pro relationships, in representation land as I am, and as happy as I would be to actually have two women of color in a relationship, because normally they don't. It's normally an interracial thing. I get that. I know that Batwoman is trying to be the out progressive. It is, when it comes to lesbian relationships, they are trying to own the bar. I understand that, but by doing this, you are making Sophie into a hoe. I'm just throwing it out there because it's literally like every Batwoman. I mean, that's the bowl, right? Every woman who puts on the Batwoman suit, Sophie has to sleep with. And I have evidence because we know she slept with Kate. We know Julia wore the suit, even though she's pretending to be Batwoman to throw suspicion off Kate. She was in the Batwoman suit. She slept with Julia. And so if she sleeps with Ryan, then you know what? Sophie can say she has tagged every Batwoman in this freaking series. Not happy. Like, not happy about it. And it looks like that's what they're doing. And it's irritating the hell out of me. I'll get back to Kane and my theories in a second. So let me just do a brief recap. So basically, the wonderful drug, the snakebite drug that's on the streets of Gotham that the False Face Society is peddling, is pretty much, they're at war with the Crows. I don't want to say it's Gotham, Gotham City PD, because I don't really feel like they're at war with Gotham City PD. I feel like they are literally at war with just the Crows and Batwoman. So like you have the police commissioner, he's being interviewed by this reporter, and she's like, I hear you're like getting help from, Batwoman and and he's like, woman, I live in Gotham, I'm gonna get help from any vigilante. And it's like we really were picky before, which of course is an homage to Batman. And, he's going to a budget meeting, and then that's how we meet Jordan. She's like, oh, budget meeting. He's like, you're here talking about funding the police, because Jordan is an activist. So whereas Sophie always walked the straight line, I say straight line, that's actually a pun. It's kind of funny. The straight line, she never broke the rules. She wasn't adventurous because she was in the closet. So she felt like she had to be perfect because she had so much guilt for being gay. That's what that was about. But her sister didn't have that hang up. And so her sister pretty much is very much an activist. She is the, Malika from Good Trouble. She is the Mel from Charm. She is the activist, the one who talks out, stands up, and whatever. She's also an artist. She likes to tag, her message on buildings. I like her character. She's cool. I love her braids. Jordan's a good character. But Jordan witnesses the False Face Society gun down the chief of police, basically the police commissioner. She was getting ready to tag something, and she just happened to be off the side of these stairs when the police commissioner was walking down, and the False Face Society opened fire. Well, it turns out Angelique was driving the getaway car, and this is only a big deal because she came back after they had the funeral for Kay. They all had a really tiny funeral. There was only really 6 or 7 of them there. It's like the cast was there. It was like Kate had no other friends, which is pretty sad considering she owned a club. You would think some of the coworkers or her people that she hired who felt like she helped them or some way or whatever would have been there, but whatever. She had nobody at that funeral. But so Ryan and Mary are having sweet potato pancakes, which sounded really good. And, Angelique just shows up trying to make amends, saying she's getting out and she wants Ryan back, basically. Then we find out that she drove the runaway car or the getaway car of the False Face Society that ended up shooting and killing the police commissioner. And so my problem with this whole thing, like Angelique was like, well, they told me to do that. And they probably did, saying if you do this one job, you can get out. That's fine. But when they were chasing Jordan down, because they realized there was a witness, because she made noise, and I think they found a paint can. Angelique was still driving them, chasing her. So was she just going to be okay with them killing this girl? It's like, I don't know. Anyway, long story short on this, we got a lot of revelations because of Ryan realizing that her pseudo ex, is she an ex-girlfriend? Were they getting back together? I don't even know what status they were in. She didn't know what status they were in. But it caused a big rift between her, Mary, and Luke. And I will say Mary made me excited because I've always said that I love Ryan's character, but she does talk and speak really quickly off emotion. Like she doesn't think about how things sound to other people when they come out of her mouth. So she has this way of coming in and trying to dominate a conversation. And what was awesome to me is that Mary didn't let her do that this time. Like when they found out that Angelique was the one driving the getaway car, of the murder of the police commissioner, Mary was like, because Luke was like, why aren't we turning her in? And then, of course, here comes Ryan with, I thought you had my back. And then Mary's like, oh, we have your back. She's like, you're my team. You're supposed to be with me. She's like, we are your team and you are a leader. You need to start making the right choice. And she's like, that woman has 1 hour to freaking talk. or I will call the police myself. I was like, oh, Mary. And Mary just walked off. She's like, drop mic, deal with that, leader. I was like, okay, Mary, I see what you did. Because I'm so used to Ryan saying, I'm the one out there taking the bullets and I'm the one to put myself in danger. And you're just the ones that sit here and play on the computer. That's basically what it sounds like she's saying. And they're like, no, we one team, one dream, girl. I'm like, so Mary put her foot down. And I was like, I'm so happy that she had that moment. Because like Ryan does get a little off the cuff. And when it comes to Angelique, I didn't like how she realized that Angelique was telling the truth or kind of telling the truth. And, you know, she was going to check her apartment. And she's like, I think you guys owe me something that starts with a sod, ends with an apology. And then they're like, okay, we're a team. We should have your back. But they still stress we need to have each other's backs. This should be a team thing, not a Ryan says this is the way it goes thing. Because, I mean, yeah, Kate technically didn't even really do that. So I do. That's the one aspect of Ryan that bothers me. I mean, yes, you are Batwoman. You're still new at this job, though. And so you're clocking hours. Think of it as a Batwoman simulator. You need to have your support team who was with the previous Batwoman on your side and in your corner and understanding what the hell you're doing before you start calling shots. So that's the one aspect of Ryan's character that I don't like. But, you know, she'll get better. But yeah, so Angelique, basically, they want her to testify against the False Face Society. She's like, they're going to kill me, which is true because Black Mask is effing crazy. He is effing crazy. And I really hope that they keep some of the characteristics he has in the comics in this because he's always been jealous of Bruce Wayne. He's had his level of jealousy is psychotic. You know, his parents were very jealous of, you know, Bruce's parents. They couldn't stand them. But they always had to kiss their butt because, you know, the Waynes they're pretty much the richest family in Gotham. So everybody was kissing the Waynes' butt at that point. I remember when they have a company, it was like a makeup company, a cosmetic company. I cannot remember the name of it. I don't know if that's going to come into play here, but I think if they do have the same I'm going to look it up while I'm talking about it. That way I can give you some accurate information, guys. But if they have that, if they keep that, then that would be a way of him having a secondary identity that they don't know about because what was the name of it? What was the name of the company? I know I can find it. Can I find it, please? That would be a way of having Roman Sionis be Roman as well as Black Mask, and that'd be a dual identity thing, and nobody would know who he was. And you know that happens a lot in the CW, so I don't see them not doing that. But let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find the name of your company. Where is it? So I know they owned a cosmetic company and his parents, he killed his parents. He burned, like in the comics, I remember he burned their house down while his parents were in it. It was Janus Cosmetics. So he became pretty much the CEO / owner of Janus Cosmetics because he took it because he killed his parents. So yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you got a lot of money. We have a lot of families that have a lot of money and, you know, your kids got to have a lot of psychological issues because let's be fair. I like Batman, but he crazy too. No, that's what happens. They don't have anything else to do. They don't have to worry about paying bills. They don't have to worry about livelihoods. They have nothing but time to think about how crazy they are. And that is Black Mask in a nutshell. So he's crazy. So Angelique is like, basically, she decides to do it, but she gets kidnapped by, of course, Black Mask. And the really cool sight, like the thing that I liked about Black Mask, just showing how crazy he is that you literally see a guy like strung upside down that's cut to all hell with blood everywhere. And he's like, this is the last person that wanted to leave, you know, and I heard you wanted to leave the society. And I'm like, yeah, man, nuts. He is nuts. And of course, Ryan goes to save, you know, her girlfriend / maybe not girlfriend, ex, maybe getting back together. I don't know what her relationship is. Crazy girl. And she gets, you know, overwhelmed by the False Face Society and they put her on this table and they're about to saw her in half. And then who saves her? Who saves Batwoman? Sophie. You see, I don't like this, guys. I mean, they're doing what I told them not to do. I keep telling them what not to do and they're not listening to me. And it's making me mad because I told you. No. No, I would rather Ryan get with Mary than get with, I mean, again, I don't know what Mary's sexual preference is. She could be pan, she could be bi. I have no idea. But they need to figure that out and they need to make it so she is pan or bi and then make her a contender for Ryan, because as God is my witness, if Sophie ends up with Ryan, man, I'm gonna make a video on how messed up that is, because that's just stupid. You literally took the character and made her, yes, she can be problematic in terms of how she deals with her emotions. Sometimes she can be a little bit bitchy, but she's beautiful and she's brilliant and she's badass. And now you just made her a hoe. So good job. Good job, guys. Side note, Julia was the one that discovered like the bone, I think it was, that she had analyzed, and the DNA traced that it was Kane. I do think that was all a setup. And the reason that I think that was a setup is because, Julia calls this guy during the investigation because Jacob is not letting this go. He wants to make sure that he's not about to have another damn daughter declared dead, even though he went through the funeral, declared dead, that may still be alive. And in this case, it's actually true. She is very much alive. So he decides to, kind of have Julia investigate on the side and make sure all of these angles are closed. Well, she calls this one guy and he's like, "Oh, hey, Julia, I remember we talked about you doing this and your accent." And he had a whole conversation with Julia that Julia has no memory of. So now she's like, wait, when did I talk to you? I don't remember that. So now she realizes her memory's been tampered with. So that is where we're going to realize that Julia is going to start figuring out that Kane is actually alive. So yeah, it's actually getting really good. And we know it's Enigma because Enigma is the one that they are using to wipe everyone's memories in this. It's interesting that Sapphire is using Enigma, Black Mask is using Enigma. Enigma is just like a memory wipe for hire at this point, which is fine. I mean, that's pretty much kind of comic accurate anyway. But I think it's interesting that how Julia is coming more into focus. But I think it's so messed up that we still have not seen any interaction between Julia and Sophie at all. Like nothing, not even at the effing funeral, nothing. There's none. Sophie's like, "Kate, my world, and you lied to me and I can't be with you anymore because I realized I love Kate." Girl, you knew you loved Kate from episode 1 of season 1. They're making me have issues, guys. They're making me have issues. And so actually, I think that the really cool thing about Julia being the one to find Kate, it's kind of like a redemption reel, even though I don't really feel like Julia has a reason to be redeemed. She didn't do anything wrong. She kept Kate's secret, just like Mary, just like Luke. But I think Sophie just needed somebody to vent her anger on. And since they were like in a kind of relationship, it became her. So yeah. Now my theories of Kane. Like I said, I do believe that Black Mask has decided the best revenge, would be to have her face modified and her mind modified and make her into a villain, make her Alice. How messed up would it be if Alice has to be the redeeming factor for Kate this time? That would be so messed up. And I think a way of Kane not becoming Batwoman again would be the trauma. She has a forced new face. She's probably going to do some horrible things she never thought she could do. Because remember when she killed before in season 1, it really messed her up. So if she kills in this version, like even though she'll be brainwashed, I don't think she'll get over that. I don't think she can put the suit back on because she's going to feel like a killer. She's going to feel like Alice. And I think that's how they're going to write Kate out, which means she can't be with Sophie. She's going to have so much trauma. She's not going to be able to be with Sophie. And Sophie, and that's going to be the closure for them. But my problem is when they close off that relationship, Sophie's going to be like, "Oh, Ryan." I'm like, oh, you're going to see it because I'm going to review it, guys. You're going to see it. I might turn red and my head might pop off my shoulders. I don't know. We'll see. But I will not be happy at all because that's not kosher. It's not kosher. Not at all. And that's my takeaway from this review. Sophie and Ryan do not need to be a couple because Sophie does not need to be a trophy hunter for Batwomen. That is really disturbing to me. That is not a message they should be putting out. It's just really effing weird. So yeah. All right. I recap 19 minutes. So let's look at some questions. Do you really think they will write Kate off? They seem to be spending a lot of time keeping Kate around. No, I don't. I know they're not going to write her off. I think she take a sabbatical, or she may leave on her own. She may come and do guest appearances because there's no point in casting, recasting Kate if they're just going to trash her, especially with a notable actress who I loved in Krypton. So, I mean, I feel like that. And she looks so much like Alice. It's creepy. Like when I was looking, every time I look at them and I put like the wig, like if you go to Photoshop and you play around, you put like Alice's hair on, they look so similar. She looks more like Rachel's, than our Alice, basically, Rachel's actress, than Ruby Rose did. So I don't know why she didn't get the role originally. So that's very strange. My daughter is on her lunch break, by the way. You're going to hear some popping sounds, and I very apologize because guys, when I do my Batwoman reviews, this child, I don't care what time I do it, she comes in this room and she has to make noise. I don't know what it is because the kitchen is right outside my studio and on the other side of this wall, and she has to do it.
They schedule my lunches when you do streams.
I gave her almost 25 years. I'm done, guys. Anyway, so I think Kate will take on Bruce's roles from Batman Beyond. That's what I want. I want her to be the Batman mentorish type character to Ryan, because Ryan already talks to her like that. Like she was even writing like a journal entry and everything. Like she's like, I can't go to your funeral, but I'm going to give you the desert rose flower. And like, she's like growing it, and I guess in the little corner of the cave and whatever. I wonder if they're going to try and synthesize that too. I mean, I wonder what they're going to do with that, but it's neither here nor there. But anyway, yeah, I would love for her to have that mentorish role. I would love for her, not even just that, she would be awesome in the Barbara Gordon Oracle type role. And since she probably won't be handicapped. I hope they don't do that. That would be so messed up if she ends up becoming paralyzed in this, and then she's in a wheelchair, and then she becomes like the Oracle role in that, so she can't fight. Ryan has to go out and fight, and then they have to learn to be a team or whatever. Though that is a way of keeping her around and making sure she can't be Batwoman. Is she can't be Batwoman full time or hardly at all if she can't walk, if she can't move her legs. So Kate may be having some issues pretty soon. Maybe they'll surprise us, and a Sophie and Ryan relationship will end up being fine. Who knows? Madness, no. That is my answer. Now you can be okay with it. Maria is not okay with that at all on any scope of any imagination. It's not even a writing thing. I think it's just a problem conceptually how Sophie will be made to look. So I don't like it. I'm telling you, it's a Batwoman fetish. You are absolutely right. Sophie has a woman fetish. I mean, I get it. I have a Wonder Woman fetish. Doesn't matter if it's Deanna, or doesn't matter if it's Nubia. It doesn't matter what version. I mean, I probably trophy hunt the Wonder Woman too, but I wouldn't do it if I was in a TV show. like I'm a one woman person. Let's see. I think Bruce's World. I think I already read that one. Well, I read somebody else said the exact same thing. I do. I would not mind that. I would not mind her being the Bruce from Batman Beyond. I really, really think she'd be a really good Oracle, though. It just would suck if they made her legs not work anymore. I don't think she'll be written out. I still think she could be behind the scenes. I don't think they're going to write her out at all, because I know Carolyn doesn't believe in writing out or killing off your gays. Those tropes. She doesn't like that. So it helps when you have a lesbian showrunner. She's not going to do that. Do you ever think they'll write Kate off? They seem to be spending a lot of time keeping her around. I think I read that one. Okay, wait. What if the irony is Alice has to be the one to save Kate's soul and then ends up saving her too? That's what I meant by Alice being her redemption. I mean, that would be so mad. I could see Alice being upset. She's like, wait a minute. Hold it. I'm the crazy one in this sisterhood. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, now I gotta beat your butt to show you that I'm crazier than you, and that's not kosher. Like, Julia killed that lady in season 1 because she was going to reveal who she was actually working for. Yeah, she was a bad guy though, so it's fine. I mean, murder's not fine, but in this show, they just seem to. Every character kills except for Batwoman, except Kane did kill. And Luke didn't tell Ryan that part when he was telling her Batwoman doesn't kill. Is Black Mask working with Sophia, or is Enigma doing her own thing? So wipe her memory and then what makes her one of his gang? I don't think she's trying to even be one of his gang. I think she's a memory wiper for hire. That's what I think's happening. So whoever pays her, kind of like how Victor was. He's like, he kills anybody that paid him. I hate that Chadwick Boseman died on a special day to Ranger fans, which should make hate Beast Morphers more, but don't. I don't really see Beast Morphers being connected to Black Panther. But I get the towards animals. Not even an enemies, lovers laugh in my mouth. This episode, getting so mental, was pretty sure young Kate meant seek therapy, not erase Kate from existence. All right. Okay, I'm going to say it again. If Sophie gets with Ryan, she will have bedded every Batwoman. That will make her a Batwoman trophy hunter, and she will be seen as the H and the O. You know where I'm going with this. That is not what they need to do with Sophie's character. Sophie needs to get with Julia or find her own relationship outside of Batwoman, because it doesn't look good optically. It doesn't make sense story-wise to have a woman who graduated the top of her class at West Point, who is at the top of the Crows, head of the Crows, trying to make a difference, trying to make change, really badass, extremely smart, falling for the same literal archetype over and over again, to the point where it's literally the same hero, but a different woman in the suit. That is weird. That is weird. So no, I can't. I can't do that. Black Man was pretty scary. Also, who is his daughter? Kate never killed her. Batman killed his daughter, actually. Kate's just anybody in the Bat family is pretty much related. Now, to be fair, though, I don't know if they're gonna make it seem like Kate killed her, but I think in retrospect, it was Batman that killed her. And this is just a revenge thing. Alice is best when she is bad, no redeeming, complex, but still a villain. Yeah, I love when she was talking to herself in this episode. I kind of left that part out because it really was just her talking to herself the whole damn time. She made like the younger version of her sister, I believe. That was her younger version of her sister. The person that she was having tea with, that was like talking about turn your emotions off. Do you know how great it would be for you to become Red Alice? I mean, basically is what's happening. I will say, though, it's accurate how Alice deals with trauma. I mean, she made the one book she had to read was Alice in Wonderland. So she made everything Alice in Wonderland to survive all the crap she went through for like 13 years. So it makes absolute sense that she would have a tea party with her dead sister, or young version of her dead sister. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Honestly, when Black Mask cut that man in half, I was shocked they were allowed to do this on the CW. I mean, I'm telling you, this is the Black Mask we needed. I have no problem with Ewan McGregor. I have no problem with Black Mask and Birds of Prey, but he was more comedy for me. Victor was doing everything in Birds of Prey. But man, CW's Arrowverse, I'm not going to say that the actual Arrowverse villain is more badass than the DCEU version. This man, he is not taking names. He is not, he's leaving cards and he's like, you know what? I may not have cut you, but I got you on Thursday. He is not playing with these people. There's no hesitation at all. You can't reason with him. When Ryan was sitting there trying to reason, I'll find out what happened to your daughter. He's like, I don't give a damn. Push the button. Like, you can't find out when you in two pieces. I mean, you can't reason with Cray. And that's what I love it. This man is crazy. It's not like when you watch other characters in the Arrowverse, like Abracadabra. No, the whole thing with the Flash. I'm not sure if you saw that episode. If you're in here, hopefully you did. And you watched my review last week. But how he dealt with the grief and how he was going to blow up an entire city. But through the power of love, Barry's always able to talk these villains down. You cannot do that with somebody like Black Mask, and that is why I think he is formidable, and that is why I think he is badass. I'm hoping that Black Mask is going to be Batwoman's Joker. That is what I hope. I was hoping Sophia would be a bigger threat, because she is in the comics. She's pretty she's pretty messed up. But Black Mask, I'll take it. I will take that being the one person that. But then again, I guess that would be hard because Batman could never kill Joker because he didn't want to become Joker. Basically, he didn't want to prove Joker right. I don't know if Ryan would have that kind of problem killing Black Mask, having that sympathy for Black Mask. Yes, this happened to his daughter, but you have to be. I feel like the Cray has to already be there to be out to that level of slicing people in half. So I don't know. I don't know. Black Mask killing people is like a cartoonish villain way of killing from like a cartoon. I mean, it's also like a comic book way of killing people. They do a lot of really problematic deaths and torture scenes in comics like throughout the year. So I'm completely used to that. Joker is dead in this universe. Batman killed him. Yeah, and that shocked a lot of fans. A lot of people were ticked off when they realized that Batman killed Joker because he traditionally, outside of the Batman Who Laughs and a few other series, which are like alternate realities, he has never killed Joker because he never wanted to become him. So, yeah, I kind of feel like, but again, Arrowverse is its own Earth. So when you look at it from that perspective, and I need to go back and see, did they reveal that he killed Joker prior or post Crisis? Because it changed a lot of stuff. So I just want to make sure that we're looking at the same thing because I'm not really sure. But yeah, they did say that Bruce left because he killed Joker. That's why he left, because he killed him. And I don't know what Joker finally did to push him to the point where he needed to kill him. I would love to know. I would love for them to tell us what that was. But we don't get a lot of Batman exposition in this. Like, how is he not keeping tabs on Gotham? I mean, if the city's like getting threatened to be destroyed, you would think that that would be the one thing that would bring Bruce Wayne back. There's so many anomalies here that I don't understand in this show, but whatever. Whatever. Technically, the movie was centered around Harley Quinn, so maybe that was why Black Mask was so over the top. But I've always felt like you shouldn't make your villain match the same energy and characteristics of your lead character. So honestly, he acted a lot like a male version of Harley Quinn in the Birds of Prey movie. And technically, the movie was supposed to be a Birds of Prey movie, but they made it the emancipation of Harley Quinn, which is crazy. I also feel like between Batwoman and Invincible, I have a feel of violent superheroes. I'm going to start watching Invincible soon because I looked at the trailer. It looks really good. So I'm excited. So I probably will do an overview when I'm done. I'll just do an overview instead of episode reviews, but it looks really good. So I'm excited. But yeah, there's a lot of violent superheroes out there. A ton. When they did the flashback of the candy lady, it was in the newspaper. She showed Ryan. What did I miss? Did I say something? When they did the flashback to the candy lady, it was in the newspaper. She showed Ryan that Joker was dead. Is that what you mean? Huh. I have to go back and look at that. Joker probably either killed Jason or hurt Barbara. I'm thinking it's Barbara. But again, and it's so weird. They never mentioned anybody else in the Bat family. Like, what made Alfred go back to England? Like, there's so many questions. Why would he leave? Because Alfred leave Wayne Manor. He's there, and Bruce goes off and does his stuff for years, and then comes back, and Alfred's like, "Oh, say you're back," and it's just like, But now, Arthur. I mean, Alfred's out living his best life in the UK, so it's really weird. Batwoman is cringe. Did the Batwoman haters write Jordan's character out? Oh wait, she's actually helping people while they are sucking in pacifiers, doing nothing but be babies. I take it you're not really a Batwoman fan, Madness. just throwing it out there. Oh, the show is all that and more. Blood and violence galore. I'm excited. The trailer looks really good. When you review Supergirl, are you going to catch up to past seasons or skip to season 6? I'm going to skip to season 6 because there's no way on the planet I'm going to have time to watch seasons 3 through 5. especially when I work tomorrow. Like, so there's no way. There's no way. So you'll be getting a play-by-play. And if I need somebody to fill in the blanks, I will be asking for help during my stream, because that is how that is going to work. I will try and catch up with reviews. I normally don't do this. Maybe I'll like Google some like past reviews to see overall season stuff that happened, or maybe like synopsis of what happened in previous seasons. But there is no way I have time to do that. I don't. Be real with you. I just don't. Okay, so you were talking about Joker being okay. I'm gonna have to look at that episode again because I totally missed that. That's a good catch. And also, Luke mentioned it last season. I do remember him saying, I just couldn't remember at what point last season. So, but now that I know that it was in the paper, then technically speaking, I can say that that was pre-crisis, time-wise. It says Batman defeats Joker in the newspaper, so I don't know when the Canada lady was reading it. So we know it was definitely pre-Ryan becoming Batwoman and going back to the house to try and save the young boy. But if it was along the same time that Alice was imprisoned because they were looking for her, then technically I could say that that was pre-crisis. He killed him pre-crisis. No, I was laughing at the haters of the show. Oh, yeah, the haters of the show are actually a lot meaner than that. Some of the stuff they write is very bad. It's very. I've seen a lot of vulgar stuff. I've seen a lot of racist, homophobic stuff. It's bad. Like, it's sad you can't just watch it. I don't care if you dislike a series, but dislike it because you don't like the characters or you don't like the writing. Don't make it political. That's what irritates me. Let me scroll up because I know I missed some stuff. So I'm going to go to the very top. Okay, they're probably going to give Kate an evil arc this season. Absolutely. It's nice that the show is writing Kate back into the continuity. I agree. So this means Kate will be a villain 100%. I know she's going to be a villain. Will Kate be Batwoman again? I don't think so. I really think they're going to make it so she can't be. I don't know if she's going to be the oracle of this situation, because that would be interesting. I would be down with them. I mean, it will suck, especially because they'll show it. But I would be down with her turning on Black Mask and him injuring her spine or her breaking her legs or whatever, making it so she can't, deforming her legs so she can't become Batwoman anymore. And then she has to use her strategic stuff to, her mind strategically to help Ryan. So Ryan would basically be Terry from Batman, or Helena from the TV show Birds of Prey, or Canary and the girls from the comics. So I really like that. I like her using her experience to help Ryan along. The problem that poses, though, a lot of people will see that as Ryan not being able to be Batwoman on her own, not claiming Batwoman as her own, not being independent, being seen as less than, because Kate would be whispering in her ear, because that's what would happen. There's a lot of negative things that would happen with that. If they gave Batwoman the suit back, that also would cause a shitstorm, because you literally cast a Black woman as Batwoman and you took it and gave it back to a white woman. And that would literally, so you don't ever have to worry about Kate becoming Batwoman again, because they know the crap storm that would come upon them if they did that crap. So I know she's not going to be Batwoman. I just don't know in what capacity they're going to keep her. So that would be a thing. Will Kate remember? Of course she will. CW always gives you your memory back eventually. You always remember. Always. I mean, I don't want to say sloppy seconds, but this would be sloppy thirds. Sloppy thirds, because she had Julia, and Julia was running around in Batwoman suit. Just saying. OMG, Sophie has a Batwoman fetish. Yep. So this is a total newbie question, but what happened to the Gotham City PD? They're still there. They just don't do anything. I mean, the police commissioner got gunned down. I mean, they're still there. They just do nothing. I don't know why. I have no idea why. They just don't do anything. Is there another hero moniker that Kate can go by instead of Batwoman, like another name from the comics? Not there, there's a lot of side characters she could potentially be. I even heard somebody say that she would be Red Robin, or she would be another Batgirl, which I don't really see Kate being a sidekick. I mean, that's the problem. And then any superhero that Kane would be would take away from Ryan's journey as Batwoman. So you can't have two superheroes right now, especially females, in Gotham, because it creates a competition and they don't want to do that. So I really don't know the specifics of how they're going to do it. Kane is not going to be Batwoman again. It's just not going to happen. Only in the comics. Gotham PD is still the police force in the city. The Crows have just taken over the city because they are paid security firm. They have more money than the GCPD. Of course they do. Because Jacob is rich. The Halebian drama. I mean, I do love my gay soap operas, but come on, Batwoman. I mean, seriously, I don't need to have this drama. I don't need to have this drama. I need them to not do what I think they're going to do, what they shouldn't do, because I'm going to be mad. The police weren't going to do nothing but let their commissioner, their commissioner was just gunned down on the steps of City Hall. Yeah, you didn't see one cop saying, "Well, revenge for for our police commissioner being gunned down." Nope, nothing. It was like, "Oh, where are the cops? Oh, we were home today. It's COVID." I'm like, man should have been out on those stairs. Like, oh, thank you, Irene. Rich people problems. Exactly. People with too much money on their hands and crazy kids does not equate to good things in life. More money, more problems. Absolutely. Okay. He just jumped down again, so I know I probably missed something at the top. I'm trying. All the parents really have it rough except for Lex. All of them had it rough because they were in crisis to begin with. Like, in first, freaking crisis on infinite poop. I mean, it did establish to me, though, that according to the Arrowverse, all Black characters, especially superheroes, are ninjas. So there's that. Guess they trained in Leaf Village. I don't know. They're in and out of those scenes so fast, you didn't even know they were in them. Like, the only good thing about all the hate that Supergirl and Batwoman get, it gives the show more views. That's true. That's what I say about when people give me like thumbs down and talk crap about my stuff. Like, yeah, I can't believe you think that way, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you don't realize when you engage with me, you're helping the algorithm. I'm like, bring on the hate. It's episode 17 when Luck tells Kate. So it's 17? I need to go back and watch that. I have to go back and watch it. Honestly, since the commissioner is dead, can we get Jim back? I know. Where is Jim? Did he retire? And where the hell's Barbara? Did Barbara leave Gotham? This is so confusing. Oh, hey, I usually just watch the Charm streams, but always miss it when live. But hey, anyways. Hi, Joshua. I'm sorry that you miss it when live. I've been doing some Charmed after party reviews. And our last one yesterday, our little Charmed after review went over 2 hours. So I got to get better about willing in our craziness. But we have fun. So, okay, I think I already did that one. Let me move up. I remember they mentioned Robin and Batwoman season 1, but I don't know which Robin it would be. My guess is either Jason or Tim, because in Arrow they mentioned Nightwing and all. I do remember on Arrow Nightwing being dropped. I think it probably would be Tim over Jason for obvious reasons, but then again, we also have Titans, which are on. I think they're on Earth 3. I have to go back and look now. All the Earths got reassigned. So I know Stargirl is definitely Earth 2. I need to figure out what Earth the Titans are on now. There's just so much. So much. None of this stuff's connected. It's so irritating. Okay, I'll read that one. Let's see. It says Batman defeats the Joker in this movie, so I don't know when. Okay, I think I read that one too. Okay, I think I might be caught up, but I'm not sure. Let me go down. It could be DC or WB is picky about who they use. I kind of feel that way, and I feel like they also have this thing where they only use people that they know are maybe obscure characters that they think we don't know, that they can basically do whatever with, and we won't notice. Except we do notice. And I remember a lot of comic book characters and villains, but I get stumped by some. I have to go back and look them up because they may have been somebody that just came out of nowhere. They're like literally in one issue, maybe Spider-Man or Batman or someone in Image or IDW has this one obscure character that was only there for like 5 panels in a comic You're not going to remember that crap. You're just not. There are heroes, like literal heroes, especially minorities, which I always find interesting, that are in classic golden age comics that people have no idea about because they've only been in certain issues. And because of that, people have no idea. They have literally no idea who these people are. And normally the trope a lot of the times with those characters, they were given HIV or AIDS a lot. They got cancer or they were gunned down. They always died or got sick and died in some weird way. So I mean, even look at Isaiah right now in Falcon and Winter Soldier. If you ever look at Isaiah Bradley in the comics, I mean, yeah, he ended up getting a really messed up version of dementia because of his version of the super soldier serum was messed up. It wasn't actually, he was a test subject. So he was the guinea pig before they even gave it to Captain America or to, Steve Rogers. So yeah, it's kind of weird that, all of these characters that could be used, and then when we get them into the actual shows, people are like, oh, they created this new character. And it's like, they're not new. You just don't know who the hell they are because they were very obscure. They're not as well known because nobody cared back then. And that's pretty sad. It's sad because there are a lot of good characters, that we'll never get. Maybe Jim and Barbara are just for the Batman canon, but they shouldn't be. I mean, they can't be name dropping Alfred and all these people and have Alfred's daughter come and have all this stuff happen and then not, do anything with that. It's just really weird. I want to know who Julia's mother is. Like, I really do. Because Julia looks young and Alfred was old. If you really think about it, she's in her late 20s, early 30s. So Alfred been getting around. I need to know who Julia's mama is. I know in the comics she was like me. And again, they tried to pass off the reason of making her blonde with blue eyes because they needed somebody they could fill into the Batwoman suit in case Kate's identity was in jeopardy. I'm like, no, no. From the woman literally was in the suit from the roof. You can't see somebody's that close up. You have to use binoculars, kind of like what Jacob did with Ryan when he saw Batwoman. He had to get really up in there. So no, it was really stupid. Honestly, it'd be so much easier if DC did the universe like Marvel, where the movie universe was connected to the TV universe. Amen. I've been saying that for forever. I mean, heck, the movie universes aren't connected to each other. Like, they're just not. It's stupid. I want Ryan to use guns like rubber bullets. That would be dope. I can see that. I can see her do that. I mean, I think we're only seeing we're scratching the surface of what she's going to have weapon wise. I want her to have a mentor to train her, though. You know what I mean? Like, we need somebody to help her learn to use the weapons more, to fight and be more strategic in battle more. I want her to have like all the opportunities that, the previous Bat family members would get, even though they're sidekicks. They got that training. She didn't have it. She just stepped in and was like, okay, I know martial arts. Let's do this. So, I mean, you know what I mean? It's just weird. Do you think Batwoman might get a sidekick partner or team before the show ends? Love your show. Thank you, Bart. I would love for her to get a sidekick. I keep playing around with who I would want. I don't want to do canon. We can't do canon because technically, Kate technically didn't have one. Now, Kathy did. The first Batwoman had a sidekick, but we can't use that because this is a completely different continuity. But I would love, although I think they would kill each other, I would love Thunder to be Batwoman's sidekick. But again, it would literally be stupid because Batwoman be over there fighting, giving her best, trying to beat all these villains. Thunder just come in there and just say, bam, stomp the ground there. Basically. I could just see Ryan say, again? Like, really? Again? She'd be the first hero that would not be allowed to use her meta powers in the battle. Because, I mean, you can't really beat Thunder. I mean, Lightning probably could, but other than that, I mean, nobody in Gotham is going to beat Thunder. And so that would be overkill. But I was thinking about if you took out the fact that she was a metahuman and you put her in just with her, because she can fight. If you put him just with her fighting and her attitude, her and Ryan's arguments would be awesome. They'd be off the chain. I would tune in every week just because that is the definition of lesbian drama. Like, it would be great. Ever notice how black characters in comics are the powerful and get the most drama. Yeah, I do notice that actually a lot. I don't know why. It's really weird. It's like I'm waiting for Blue Marvel to come into the MCU as if Harry Richards, but I mean, come on. Like, we all know who's saving the day. I want Mr. Terrific to be redeemed because that man is effing. But I need Mr. Terrific to come back and be the Mr. Terrific we had in the comic. I think that would be awesome, but we won't. It would be like how Wally on The Flash couldn't use his speed. Oh, wait. Let me go to your first part. I mean, wasn't Alfred a spy? And we know him from James Spies Go Around. So it would be like how Wally Flash couldn't use his speed. Yeah. Alfred is a spy. And I mean, honestly, it would be cool if he was actually out there doing a job. And that's why he was out there in England. It's just weird because I'm so used to, I feel like Wayne Manor is literally Alfred's umbilical cord. So it's weird him not being there. I don't know. But I will say there's an issue in Deceased. This is kind of a spoiler, but like the Bat family all gets wiped out because Bruce gets turned into a zombie. And Alfred's last man standing. Man, all of the Bat family turned and Alfred took every last one of them out because you don't F with Alfred. Alfred knows how to get rid of you. Not only did he do that, he went and got in the damn Bat jet and took off. I was like, hey, Alfred, it's 80 years old still. Baller. My hopes for season 3, bigger and badder villains. Luke as Batwing. I would love to see Luke as Batwing, but he's so not the one. He's not the Luke in the comics I'm used to. It would be interesting for something to happen and he becomes the Crisis on Infinite Earth version of Luke that we saw and then becomes Batwing. I'd be down with that. But right now he's so male Felicity that it's hard. And the Bat team finding Bruce. I would be down with that too. I would love anyone from the Bat family to just pop in. I would love it. Will that happen? No. I mean, I honestly want Orphan to be in this series. And again, you guys know my heart is Lady Shiva. I would love for Lady Shiva to come in there and have to assassinate somebody. But the problem that I have with this, guys, I claim my blackness. I'm proud of it. And I support Ryan Walder as Batwoman. But there's no effing universe where she would take on Lady Shiva and live. You are not going to make me suspend my disbelief that she's going to overpower with her limited martial arts knowledge on Lady effing Shiva. So you bring Lady Shiva in there to get her A handed to her by Ryan Walder. Maria's going to pop in and Ryan's going to get her A handed to by Maria because that ain't happening in anybody's universe. So no, that's why Lady Shiva can't be on Batwoman. she can't because they would do that. And then I would blow up. I have to go Super Saiyan. I'm sorry. Abby reminds me of Lena Luthor a little bite. Everyone always villainizes her, but it takes that smallest amount of kindness to change her. Maybe it's from Jordan. Yes. And the charm chat, that is very true. That is absolutely true. I want to see more Alfred boxing fight scenes. I want to see more Alfred. Alfred could come back and be like the voice of reason for everybody in the Batcave right now because he is the voice of reason for Bruce. He's the voice of reason for the entire Bat family because it seems like sometimes none of them practice common sense and critical thinking. So I would be down with that. I think that would be really cool, but they won't. I keep saying what we want. We'd say what we want. We know what they're not going to do, but I also want them to move to the Batcave under Wayne Manor. I know. I want to see what we kind of saw Wayne Manor when we had the whole Hush thing going on. We got to see it then for like a millisecond. But yeah, we don't really. I mean, there's nobody really staying in this mansion. I'm certain there's nobody there. There may be squatters. I don't know. But with the whole, Hush Imitation Bruce thing, him going and staying in Wayne Manor, it looks immaculate. Like somebody was cleaning it. But they don't really do anything with it. So it's interesting. Also, did you notice Ryan's wig looks shorter? I know. I wonder if it's smacking her in the face. I love that they went natural with her hair. And I like the promo pics with it. But sometimes it makes her look shorter. Because when you have your hair styled, it's not even the width of it. It's how they style her hair. It makes it feel like her head is smaller than the rest of her body. It makes her shorter. And she, I think, is either 1 inch shorter than me or 1 inch taller because I'm 5'5". So she's either 5'4" or 5'6". You don't need to be having anything making you shorter than you are because it doesn't work. Just doesn't work. Okay, wait. I think I did that one. Let me go down. Laughing my ass off. The only Pennyworth we'll be getting is Julia as of right now. I know. Why? We could have Alfred pop in. I don't get that. I don't understand why we can't have Alfred. I mean, we can't get Lucius back, but he apparently was killed in a convenience store robbery, so we don't have him. It's like it really seems like if the current Bat team looks at the previous Bat family, that's their future. Like, this is what's going to happen to you. You're just going to disappear or die. Like, that's your fate. It's kind of ominous, really, if you think about it. Alfred's boxing scene from Batman, Bat Blood resembles Joe Frazier style. Yeah, that's another thing. Are we going to get the original Wildcat? Because I know that Wildcat did train Dinah, Canary, but I'm pretty sure he trained other people to fight too. So, I mean, that would be really cool to have, that kind of connection with Ted to train Ryan more into being a dirty street fighter. We had it in Arrowverse with that version of a Canary, because that was the one thing I always thought with Laurel that was kind of comic accurate. Only that technically, well, no, that was comic accurate because her dad trained her to fight, and then she learned how to street fight and be dirty and strategic with Wildcat. So I don't know. I really have to think about this. Do you think the CW is bold enough to actually use Clayface on Batwoman? Probably. I mean, Black Mass is sawing people in half. I mean, why not? I think if they're going to do it in the show, it probably will be Batwoman because, Freeland is the hood and is messed up and there's lots of violence and they do shady stuff and they kill. But Gotham is where they do all the freaky experiments crap. They're the one. That's the place where everything goes to hell. And we're not even talking like City of Bane stuff. We're talking just, we want to take your arm and put it on your head, Frankenstein crap. So yeah, I think absolutely Clayface being there would be fine. I mean, I have a list of people I think they could bring there that would be messed up that would probably fit right in this TV series with this tone. The only problem I've ever had with this version of Gotham is even though it's extremely messed up and crime ridden, it is very clean. Like even the hood is clean. The projects are clean. They are immaculately keeping these streets clean. And I want to know who's doing it because, I mean, there's crime. I don't know what's happening. I think we will get Alfred, but probably looking for the right actor to play him. Okay, that would not be bad. I really need at least a cameo, something. Like, it's interesting that if you really, really put this in perspective, Bruce is so in his feelings about killing Joker, he didn't even come to his own cousin's funeral. He didn't come to his funeral. We might get Lucius in flashbacks if we get more screen time on Luke's life outside the Batcave. Yeah, that's just something else they're not doing. They're not focusing on their individual lives outside of the Bat family. So you're right. We did hear a little bit between Kate and Mary when Mary tells stories, but we don't get to see any of the stuff that actually happened. So, okay, I think we did that one. Freeland looks like a better Gotham than Gotham does. It does. It really does. I mean, I didn't want to say it. Alfred's actor needs to be old enough to exude wisdom, but young enough to take part in action scenes. Alfred is always super old. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, in Deceased, he was in the 80s. He was he was pretty badass. So they just need to find a younger actor in his 50s and then age him to like 70ish, 80ish, and then we'd be all right. Conversation dream match, Lala versus Lois. Lala versus Lois. So are we talking like on a fighting level? And then let me ask you this. If we're talking like on a fighting level, are we talking like Lois knows how to like do like actual comic? Well, to be fair, Sam did train Lois to fight in the comics. They haven't established that in Superman and Lois, but we know in the other Smallville that was true. And even in Lois and Clark, she took self-defense. So I don't know. I have to think about this. So if we have her combat skills wise, she might be able to hold her own against Lala in a fight. But remember, Lala can't stay dead. Right now she'd win because he's been Han Soloed. So he's pretty much in carbonite. So she can just go over there with a hammer and just start whamming him. But in an actual fight, physical fight, I think she could hold her own for a little while, but he fights dirty and will probably just shoot her. In an intellectual fight, Lala's not stupid. He just doesn't have common sense. Like, you have to be smart to run a criminal organization and be successful for as long as he has. So if we're talking like intellectual, I think they both have strength, so it might be a tie. If you're talking about just trash talk, like who would trash talk the other? Ooh. So are we talking like Hood? Are we talking about just in general? If we're talking Hood, then Lala would absolutely dominate. But if we're talking about, them just insulting each other on their lives and making each other feel like crap, Lala would still win. Lala would win. Lala would win. Lois' combat skills in the adventure of Lois and Clark were interesting, to say the least. Yeah. But in Smallville, she was good. In the comics, she was pretty good. Her to defend herself, because that's literally the only thing he ever taught her to fight. He was a deadbeat dad. So, but yeah, that's interesting. I mean, just putting Lala and Lois in the same ring to me is just hilarious. And it's so random. You would not think, I think better pair up against each other would be Lois and Iris, who would win against them. That would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. Because, you got a husband that everybody loves and saves the world and depends on. Then you have another husband that city loves, not known globally. Or if he is, they don't talk about it, and who defeats everyone, not with the speed, but with the power of love, like a Care Bear. So Iris is married to a Care Bear, and pretty much Lois is married to a Titan. So that would be an interesting thing. If we get another Arrowverse crossover, do you think they will use Superman and Lois cinematography? That's what's so weird. Like, how do you do that now? Like, they're supposed to be on the same Earth. How do you take this Man of Steel, DCEU, HBO Max, really expensive film quality and cross it over with Betamax? Pretty much. It's like, how do you do that without it being obvious? Because, like, if they jump into The Flash or jump into Supergirl or any other Arrowverse show, it's going to look like their budget got docked, like they're not doing well in ratings. If you take all of the characters from The Flash or Supergirl or, Stargirl, any of them, because Stargirl is filmed a little bit better, and you put them in the Lois and Clark, or the Superman and Lois, it's going to look really weird because it's going to take on this serious tone. Because Superman and Lois, the tone is very serious. Like, it's not campy. But when you look at Supergirl and you look at The Flash, even when they have serious stuff happening, it's very campy looking. So, like, how do you marry the two styles? It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be very weird. Hello, DeLorean Rivon. I love how all the shows are supposed to be on the same Earth, and yet, yeah, I don't get it. I'm gonna tell you this: if I was a superhero and I was on the same Earth as these fools, and I had all this stuff happen, I'm like, hey, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to come over here and help me. I'm like, we're about to have another crisis. Do you also think they will bring Supergirl and Black Lightning back? I think Black Lightning will do cameos unless they kill him off. He has opportunity to come back in Painkiller. I always thought, so this is my wish. Just because they're getting rid of Black Lightning doesn't mean they're getting rid of the cast of Black Lightning. Maybe they're moving them to Painkiller and making that the focus of the show, instead of it just always being Black Lightning. But then you have such a powerful character like Black Lightning. If you make him a secondary character, what does that really say? So there's so many elements there that you have to really think about when you write this stuff. Because Painkiller, you would have there is no universe I would have thought that Khalil would ever have his own show. Like, it's so left field for me that, like, what were they thinking? And then how are you gonna pull this off? You already have Painkiller as pretty much you remember the Jean Grey movie, was it X-Men The Last Stand, where Phoenix is just a split personality? That's kind of like what Painkiller is for Khalil. So how do you pull that off, without looking stupid? Because it was pretty stupid in X-Men Last Stand. So I feel like it would be pretty stupid in this one. Some Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde stuff right there. I don't know how they're gonna do this. But whatever, maybe we'll like it. Maybe they'll shock us and it'll be a refreshing thing or whatever. We'll see. But I don't know. But I do think that a lot of the characters from Black Lightning are going to cross over. And we're not getting rid of Tobias Well because he has too much. Painkiller has too much animosity. Khalil has too much trauma from, Tobias for him not to be rolled over. So I don't think that he's going to be killed. I think he is definitely going to be in Painkiller. To be fair, DCEU's world building is just as disjointed as CW's. I mean, Warner Brothers. I would love to see Jefferson and Barry have an adventure together. I would love to see Jefferson and Barry talking to each other. I mean, they act like... So the Arrowverse gets away with things that other DC properties do not. Not the animated movies, not the DCEU. Like Cisco can just roll up in Atlantis and be like, I'm taking this tech home. And they're like, okay, cool. How the hell do you know anybody in Atlantis? You pen pals? You and Mira hang out on the weekend? I don't understand. How do you just roll in there and take their technology? You would think Atlantis would be like, human? What the hell? You coming in here and grabbing nothing. You better recognize that that's not happening. So I don't understand how he gets away with that. Just like, Black Lightning, they needed the part, I forgot, it was a transmuter or whatever to bring Jen back with her, to get her particles, basically to reform and reattach and recreate her body. They just happened to just make a call to Star Labs. And even though the Flash is losing his speed, he had time to run it to Freeland. If you have time to run it to Freeland, you have time to go help Freeland because you're not Amazon. And I'm like, this is not a USPS, FedEx, UPS moment. Why is it you will only deliver mail, but you won't come and help anybody? I'm like, no. Nope. I know that's what I was saying. I'm like, are you friends with Aquaman? It doesn't make any sense. Or Cindy's like, I got this from Atlantis. I'm like, no, you didn't. Like, you got on eBay. I want to hear that crap. Let's see. Okay, trying to see if I missed anything because I do. I don't mean to, guys. I think we covered so much in this. I'm amazed. Like Batwoman review or live streams are easy to do because they're going so far off canon, but they're trying to bring canon into it that you really don't have time to really worry about what you've missed. Like, it's not like when I watch Falcon and Winter Soldier where I'm just like, that's an Easter egg to this, and that maybe happened for this. Would that happen in the comics? I don't remember that happened in the comics. Oh, that did happen in the comics. Okay, cool. But this one is like, yeah, none of this stuff is real. Like, it's all good. Yes, the characters are comic, actual based on comic characters, except for Ocean. Ocean is an original character, so is Ryan. But all the other characters are completely based on Batman villains and Batman side characters and some Batwoman characters. But like, you could just still look at it and be like, but they doing their own thing. So it's fine. It's fine. Let's see. My one hope that Batwoman is that Cassie Kane is introduced in the continuity. That's what we can't have Orphan. Because if we have Orphan, then we're going to have Lady Shiva. And then they're going to make them fight. And Ryan's going to win the fight against Lady Shiva. And then I'm going to explode. I'm going to explode. No. I will explode. Kate and Cassie have a tumultuous relationship in the comic. They do. They absolutely do. Kate and Cassie, not Ryan and Cassie. But anytime you see, like, if they have her come in as Batgirl, if they have her come in as Orphan, they probably have her come in as Orphan, honestly. That alludes to her parentage. And I can't have Lady Shiva in that show. I just can't. I can't. She does not lose. No. Yeah, she does throw fights, but they will make it seem like, I've seen in Birds of Prey, in the old TV series where Helena fights Lady Shiva and wins. And I'm like, there is no universe, no universe where that is possible. Yes, Black Canary and her came to a head, and Black Canary almost defeated her. Honestly, I don't think that Lady Shiva was trying to kill her. So there's a difference when she's trying to take you out and just sparring with you. But, and then of course that whole arc where she, Lady Shiva decides that, or Black Canary decides to let her become a bird of prey in her place, to teach her how to be nice and grapple with humanity and just realize people have souls, which she did. Lady Shiva does. If anybody messes with the birds of prey now, Lady Shiva will tear you a new one. It did not change her from killing, but she became loyal to this group of girls. But I'm sorry, I call absolute infinite BS her coming into this version of Batwoman, even coming into Kane's version of Batwoman, and getting her butt handed to her by a Batwoman. That's not ever going to happen. Mm-mm. Lady Shiva kicked Batman's ass. I mean, too late. Next season, Lady Shiva better not. And that'll be the one episode that never gets aired. I'll make sure of it. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put some juju out in the cosmos. Somehow it never plays. And I believe it getting one shot of a Jason Thomas is sus as much as I love Jason. Yeah, I don't understand why anyone would ever believe that anyone in this current Batwoman Arrowverse would be able to take down Lady Shiva. I don't even think anybody in Black Lightning, I don't even think Lightning can take down Lady Shiva, because girl, I mean, this is something wrong. She lives to fight. She lives for this stuff. That is literally all she likes to do. She offed her own sister, who she loved more than anybody in the world, because she was a liability in her training. Training. They kidnapped her sister. She started killing everybody to get her sister back. And then she realized that, you know what? Well, as long as you're alive, people are going to come for you. And instead of me spending time working on myself and improving my fight skills, I'm going to be spending all my time saving you. She kills her sister. Like, that's Lady Shiva. I'm not supporting that. I'm just saying that's who she is. So there's no. Nope. I'm passionate about this, guys. In my feelings. That is Lady Shiva better not. There might one toe better not hit Gotham soil. I did see it or read it, so it didn't happen. Lady Shiva beating Batman. She did. They were sparring on the roof, and she whooped Batman's ass. He even said that she is the number one fighter in the world. That was what Batman said out of his own lips. Because people always think that Batman is like this supernatural entity that can never have his ass whooped. Let's not forget that Bane picked him up and snapped him in half like a Kit Kat bar. I mean, and Bane's not a metahuman. He just literally pumped on supernatural, and he was like, boop. Boop. But then you want to tell me that he's going to beat Martian Manhunter, Superman, Shazam? No, people, be realistic. Batman for me is the world's greatest detective. He is good at finding things. I mean, he is. He's like the supernatural Sherlock Holmes you want in your life. He is not a metahuman. He does not have super healing. He does not have super strength. He is not a Marvel or a DC version of Marvel's Wolverine. He is not. So I get a lot of heat for saying this. He's human. I'm like, therefore, when you are a human being, you can get your ass kicked. Hell, a metahuman can do it. You literally can take down a metahuman. It's impossible. You can do it. It's just Batman, even though he has all of these martial arts skills, he's a master in numerous martial arts styles. He is a strategic genius. He's super smart. He's got money, so he has all these gadgets. He still got his A handed to him by Lady Shiva, and that's all I'm saying. It's what it is, guys. It happened. It happened, and it was cool. He also got smacked by Jon Stewart, and I love it. because he was talking trash about Hal Jordan after Hal Jordan died. And Jon Stewart is like, let me explain something to you, sir. He's like, the only reason that you get respect from people is because they fear you. But guess what? I'm not scared of you. And they smack the hell out of him. And I'm like, drop the mic. Jon Stewart sees through his crap, and I love it. I know, I'm messing with you. Jedi, I understand, but I have to just make my points about Lady Shiva. Lady Shiva actually doesn't get a lot of heat. I think a lot of people generally like her, even though there's one DC comic animated movie where she literally was so ineffective she didn't even need to be there. I have no idea why she was even there. I can't remember which movie it was now, but she was in that movie for like 5 seconds. And like, I guess everybody got blown up. And I'm like, that is so weird to me. I don't really see Lady Shiva just standing in one spot long enough for you to let off a bomb, but whatever. It all depends on who's writing it, I guess. But yeah, Lady Shiva is not going to Gotham. And that's the end of that. So what have we learned today, guys? Sophie does not need to be trophy hunting for Batwomen, which means no Ryan and Sophie. No Ryan and Sophie. Number 2, Lady Shiva is not going to be going to Gotham at all. At all. Number 3, Kane is probably going to be a villain. And I really do believe that Alice is going to be the one. It's going to be her redemption. And I think that's going to be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious that Alice is the one that's probably going to end up saving her sister. The woman who wants to kill her sister, who doesn't really want to kill her sister, is the one that's going to end up saving her sister. I think the Crows are going to have a lot of overhaul too, because Sophie's getting tired of the system. So it looks like it's been said a lot that the Crows are dirty. The Crows are work above a law. They don't operate correctly. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm really looking to see how they're going to overhaul the Crows, especially since the Crows is Jacob's baby. Now that his bio kids are gone, he only has Mary. At least he thinks both of his twins are dead. That's going to be what he throws all of his grief and all of his time into. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. What if Kate kills Alice? Kate's not gonna kill Alice. Alice is like a baby's kid. She don't die. She multiplies. She's not going anywhere. She may think she killed Alice, but she's not gonna kill Alice. I'm kind of worried about her trying to kill Sophie. That would be interesting. I think Sophie's probably gonna reason. They're gonna use the power of love. So she's going to see Sophie and she's going to hurt Sophie. And then she's going to realize she hurt the woman she loves. And then she's going to snap out of it in true Flash style. Because that's how Barry always wakes up when he hurts his friends or his Iris. But what was she? The Paragon of Truth or Paragon of Courage? I can't remember which Paragon Kate was. You see how much I loved Crisis. I wonder if being Paragon gives you extra abilities because Barry's been using his power of love all the time. So I know Supergirl, I think, was the Paragon of Hope. So I have to figure out what she is, but I don't know. But I do know that they need to have Jon Stewart come into all of these continuities. It's really funny. I literally just said the Diggle family vacation in Freeland. And I was just literally thinking about the Diggle family, how they are not going to be in Metropolis, or they are in Metropolis, but we're not going to see them now because Superman and Lois moved to Smallville. So I don't know. It's all that the entire Crisis on Infinite Earth was so poorly written and so poorly, executed that it's all Paragon stupid. I mean, I could be the Paragon of whatever. I could have just literally got the Book of Destiny and then scratched people's names out and just put my name on all of it. And then I was every effing Paragon. Like, come at me, bro. But don't worry, I'm a Paragon. But it doesn't matter that I'm a Paragon. I'm not actually going to do anything. I'm just going to be the Paragon. Yeah, you don't need me. You just can throw Bebo at Anti-Monitor and just call it a day. I'm like, yeah, that's stupid. All right, guys. We are at 1 hour and 18 minutes. So if you have any other questions, theories, concerns, and even requests on videos, besides Fate, it's coming, I promise. It's the bane of my existence. Please leave me a comment below and let me know, because I'm trying to see. I already have a few ideas of what I'm doing next, because I do have I I got inspired over a few of my last 2 streams on videos that I want to do now. But I want to know what content you are into, because you may know some shows that I don't know. I'm actually looking for another scary show to watch, because the one I was watching, it ended, and I'm not reviewing it because it's older. But let me know. And then also, if you have any ideas on how Kane is going to be coming back into this series, other than what we speculated, if you have something that's completely off the wall, please post it. So when it comes true, I can shout out to you, because this has happened a lot. Sometimes you guys will say stuff and then it actually happens in the show. So let me know. Let a girl know, because you know what I think is going to happen. I want to know what you guys think. So yay. I love you guys. I think I'm going to take a nap. My sinuses are killing me. What I think of the Snyder Cut, I did a live stream. So it is in here. You can go pop it up. But overall, generally speaking, I liked it, but I had questions. And in the live stream, I went into great detail on those questions. So, but a lot better than the original, because the Whedon cut sucked. It just did. It's just what it is. But there were some elements of this one that were interesting that I talked about. All right, I love you guys. I will see you later. We will be having our Arrowverse Tuesday tomorrow. I know technically we only have the Flash, but I think I'm going to throw in some more Arrowverse stuff, and we're just gonna have an Arrowverse general chat, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the Arrowverse, so we can have a chat about that too. So this will be like a part Flash review, part Let's Talk Arrowverse stream tomorrow night. So be on the lookout. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye.